What's up, y'all? Whew. Sorry, y'all. Welcome to episode 242. I'm sorry I'm over here sleeping. It's been such a slow week in sports, Lord. I'm about to go to sleep. Barely been anything to talk about. Like we slowing down. Has July came already? Is the ESPY Award coming up soon? Well, anyway, what we talking about this week? We had to find something to talk about. Uh, Draymond Green, uh, him and his crazy antics again. We got Jack Del Rio spouting off crazy, ignorant knowledge and stupid stuff again. We got Dion and the SSS Sports Illustrated cover. We got the NBA Finals recap. We got the Braves report. We got whatever we could have pulled out to talk about this week because it's just been a slow week. We got your boys Red, Coach, and Rev in the house this week. Episode 242. Let's get it started right now before I go back to sleep.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Red and Rev Sports Show, where we're giving you real sports talk because we are real sports fans who are real sports athletes who have what, Red?
Real sports knowledge.
Sports knowledge. So come on, hang out with your boys, Red, Rev, and maybe Coach will make an appearance at some point, having some Wi-Fi challenges as we give you episode 2, 4, and 1. And since Coach is not available at this time to give number 241, we're going to rely on Red to see what he has. He just got this assignment on the spur of the moment. So let's see what he's talking about. What you got for number 241, Red?
Well, I can't believe I'm going this route, but hey, it was the spur of the moment. And we are in basketball season, so I might as well go and give a shout out that we are on the anniversary of not one, but 2 40-point clutch games by my most hated sports enemy. That's right, LeBron James. That's right. The 2 40-point games that he needed to save the Cleveland Cavaliers and their 2016 championship hopes happened right around this time. LeBron needed 1 40-point game in game 6. No, 5. And another 40-point game in game 6 to save the bacon of his Cleveland Cavaliers, and that propelled them to a career-saving game 7, which put him on the big-time map after he won a ring for Cleveland. But he needed those 2 40-point games to even get there. So congratulations, LeBron. We're on the anniversary of your 2 career-making 40-point games that you needed in the NBA Finals to save your season. So there you go.
Now, I ain't going to grade you too hard because you know the number's 41, not 40.
Well, didn't he score 41 in one of those games?
Well, normally do something with 41.
Well, it's spur of the moment for me.
I'm going to give you a pass. I'm going to give you a pass because we would have given Coach the side eye on that one. But nevertheless, since you got this,
I didn't have time to think of something for today.
Yeah, hopefully, Coach been battling these Wi-Fi issues for about 15 minutes now, but we'll see what happens. But nevertheless,
about 15 episodes now.
we'll see what's going on. Let's say hello to Revenite Nation, see who's watching today.
Sorry, y'all, man. Spur of the moment for my number, numerology.
Good morning, Sister Sylvia Harris. What's up with you, Chris Traylor? The president is in the building. Thank you for coming back and seeing about us, Mr. President. He is at the Washboard Weasel Brigade in Hopolicet, Georgia. Hopolicet, Georgia. All right, man. Good morning to you, Sister Dana Brickis. Good morning to you, Brother Lance, Bill, Bruce, Senior. The VP and the president are in the building. I feel like it's going to be a good day now. The VP in the building, slamming down the gavel to start another 5 session of the Red and Rev Sports Show. Let go, as they say in the dirty South. Let go, let go, let go. All right, man. We're going to have to, it looks like it's going to be like an original show right now where it all started with me and you because Amani is still doing military duty. And Coach is scratching his head over there trying to get Wi-Fi. So it looks like it's going to be a two-man show today. So we got enough to do what we do. Let's go with it. Dope, nope, and Coke moment. What are you doping on, Red?
What am I doping on this week? I'm doping on my Braves. Now we all know when teams bring left hand pitchers into the game, what we call southpaws, that they expect, to give a different look, and for teams to, have a challenging approach at the plate when you pitch your left hand pitchers on the mound. Well, my Braves, thankfully, they have won 10 straight games versus left-hand starting pitchers. That's right. So when these teams grab for their southpaw, thinking it's going to help them out, thinking it's going to stop their little losing streak or it's going to get a team a little boost, not versus my Braves. 10 straight wins versus left-hand pitchers. So maybe you guys want to think about starting a right-hand pitcher versus my Braves. Or if that don't work, I don't know, maybe start one of those total recall aliens versus my Braves. They got right hand and left hand. Maybe got three hands. I don't know. But whatever you're doing, it ain't working lately. So dope to my Braves for making teams know the southpaws are really no use.
Oh, yeah. I am doping on women's softball. The Oklahoma Sooners female softball is female. The Oklahoma Sooners softball team winning back-to-back softball World Series championships, also doing it in record fashion. These ladies love the long ball and they love scoring runs. They broke the College World Series record with 17 home runs and 64 runs. And then they have the GOAT on their team, Jocelyn Allo, who hit 34 home runs during this season. That is definitely big time. So big ups to Oklahoma winning back-to-back World Series softball championships and beating one of their rivals, the Texas Longhorns, in order to win the chip for the second year in a row.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
While I still have the floor, my note moment goes to the Boston Celtics, making things difficult. One more series, one more time. They can't make anything simple. They had the game won, and we'll talk more about it. But my note moment goes to Jason Tatum in particular and Jaylen Brown not stepping up, leading their team to take a 3-1 victory. So I'm noping on them. What are you noping on, Red?
Man, I got like three things I want to bring up, but only two chances to do it. So I'm going to have to strike one out. I'm noping on Tony La Russa. Tony La Russa, why are you always putting yourself in the news for silly things? Last year, you was putting yourself in the news because you had an issue with one of your players. You were having issues relating to the new age players on your own team. Now, this year, you putting yourself in the news for a stupid, asinine decision to walk Trey Turner, who's on a 1-2 count. 1-2, meaning just one strike away from being struck out. On a 1-2 count, you intentionally walk Trey Turner to face who? Max Muncy, who already had pretty much been perfect at the plate all game long. And guess what? He got another hit when you walk Trey Turner to get up to Max Muncy. So note again to you, Tony La Russa, who's maybe proving that, dude, I think it's time for you. Maybe you need to go back into retirement, man, because you are getting in the news for all the wrong reasons. That was a really bonehead decision to walk Trey Turner to get to Max Muncy, who was 5 for 5 for the whole game. So nope, once again, Tony La Russa.
No! No! No!
Go right back into it. What's your Coke moment?
Okay. This is the one I have difficult. Which one am I going to use? Okay, I guess I'll go the big topic. We got to cope with Warriors and they family members, fans and players coping or crying about the Boston fans and they chants. Lord have mercy. Y'all need to grow up and get it together and get a clue. This is the NBA Finals, and these are the Boston Celtics fans. Don't come talking to me about, oh, we got our kids at the games. We should have to hear these nasty and vulgar thoughts. Are you kidding me? This is a basketball game. This is NBA Finals. Boston Garden, what in the world do you think they're gonna hear? You tell Draymond to stop being such a nuisance, maybe they wouldn't chant those things. And how many times do I have to say, tell families of visiting teams to go up to the press box? Why do you sit in the stands with the rowdy fans and sit and subject yourself to all of this nonsense? I'm not mad at the fans. I'm mad at the teammates and their family members and fans who continually subject themselves to this nonsense. Sit by the team, sit near the coaches, sit up in the press box, sit anywhere you want to, but sit away from the fans because no, I'm not noping to Boston fans. They can chant anything they want about Draymond Green. You don't like it? Deal with it, Warriors. That's the nature of the game. That's why we call it sports. Fans, they have a right to do this. Sorry, I'm not noping the fans. I'm not noping anything. But we got to cope with the Warriors crying about it because the fans of Boston did nothing wrong.
Oh, come on!
I'm coping with the fact that these Fox Sports analysts have to continue to bring up USFL highlights and information on Undisputed, The Herd, because Fox has paid money to air the USFL games that nobody's going to in Birmingham. And they always have to interrupt a good show to bring up some USFL highlights that people are sleeping on. The USFL's coverage is worse than the WNBA coverage. I mean, Fox, you're just going to have to take this L. The USFL is not going to have a rebirth in the summer. Nobody wants to see subpar minor league football in the summer. I hope the XFL has something different because there clearly seems to be no market for football in the spring and in the summer unless it's college football spring practice where teams are trying to get excited about what to look forward to in the fall. So I'm coping with having to hear with Fox Sports analysts having to come on the television screen and have to talk about USFL. And I'm coping on the fact that coaches popped on the screen out of nowhere and threw me off. All right. So we'll move on with that. All right. All right. Real quickly, Coach, you seem like you got your Wi-Fi finally working. So real quickly, it's just like rapid fire. What are you doping on? You have 15 seconds on each one.
Okay. My dope moment is on for Atkinson, Coach Atkinson for Golden State getting a job as the coach of the Hornets. It seems like everybody under Kerr is getting a job, a head coaching job, which means he's doing something right. So,
all right,
big up Atkinson.
Yep, Kenny Atkinson. Good job.
Ah,
what are you noping on?
The Orioles CEO, you being sued by your brother. Of all the people in the world that want to sue somebody, why is family suing family? Why y'all can't sit down and talk about it and see what's going on? But they want to get control of the team, and now it's a family discussion that's being played out in the public. So no for both of them for even bringing that up in the public.
Got to be kidding.
All right, Coach.
And my Wi-Fi has become disabled, so you might have to skip my coach.
Just tell us, Coach, why we can hear you. Go ahead. All right, we're going to cope on the fact that Coach keeps coming in our show, and somebody lay hands on your screen and pray for Coach's Wi-Fi. So this is getting to be a bit troublesome. So wherever he is, he's going to be banned from trying to do the show at that place going forward because it's something else. All right. Nevertheless, let's check out the Revanite Nation's Nope, Dope, and Cope moments for this week. It looks like they are all jumping on one coach that we'll be talking about a little later in the show. Let's see Coach reading his book, Connect.
I'm trying not to have no comment, Vince. Coach already mad at me for saying something.
Tom is doping on the Braves. Vince said, Coach is cranking up his generator. Chris Trailer doping on Chef Curry's 40 and 10. The Lady Sooners are flat out dope, no doubt about it. Chris Trailer, yeah, we forgot about Aaron Donald's new deal with the Rams. That was dope, man, the way he played his hand on that one. No doubt about it. Threatened retirement. Now he got that money guaranteed. Jack Del Rio, big dummy, noping on him. The president, as well as the vice president, noping on Jack Del Rio. I think we'll talk about him in just a second. Look, man, everybody's talking about him. Red, get ready to cue that segment up. We're going to start with him since everybody's on him right now. Thomas, the president, is coping that they say they do it for the love of the game, but apparently everyone has a price. The PGA Tour has turned into the WWE. Yeah, they're getting that Saudi Arabian money, buddy. Did you all see the Saudi Arabian packages and purses in comparison to the PGA? The Phil Mickelson and his crew, like, we about to get paid by these Saudis. Vincent Woodruff coping here, and another person apologized for being staunch racist that they are. Jack Del Rio gets donkey of the day. Big jerk sounds about white, right? Yeah, dog. Sister Dana noping for Klay Thompson being a crybaby and noping to Draymond sitting in the post-game interview cursing next to the baby boy. Yeah, that was bad. The way he cursed in front of his son the other day. That wasn't the right thing to do, especially in public. Still spending my hopes on the Frankfurt Galaxy. What's up, Kelly Kell? Glad that you came. We're going to talk about your school at some point. What's up, Joe Black? Glad to have you. CF spring games and NFL OTAs are more interesting than USFL garbage. Can't disagree. Miss Ellie Vaughn Williams, good morning to you. Look at her back from Nassau. Nice. Hope you enjoyed the beautiful beach wedding. You had some good sunshine. And you're heading out to Savannah, Georgia. And look at you, living up the retirement life, living your best life. I love it. Joe Black, Mike, and the kid is not my son, Harris Jr., giving the Braves much needed help. That boy is the real deal. Red may talk about him in the Braves report, but that joker made a catch this past week that even Andrew Jones, who used to be the beast in center field for the Braves, had an eye-popping moment. Yeah. Miss Yvonne, glad you. Okay, showing some love, Miss Yvonne. Let's see who else rolling with us today. Chris Trailer, coping on Draymond's mom, saying it's a clone playing your son's trash now, and no one cares. All right. Noping on Deshaun Watson issue getting really ugly. Yeah. No, Frank Vogel is not the new coach. He just got fired. That son got you real good, Miss Ellie Vaughn. Darwin Ham is the new head coach. Coach is trying to get a good Wi-Fi signal at the Birmingham. Oh, boy. The VP is eating coach up today, I tell you.
Eat him up. You deserve it.
Yeah, Quinn Snyder stepped down. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Well, we forgot about that. Yeah, Quinn Snyder stepped down from the Jazz, and Vogel was fired from the Lakers. You got it. You're on point now. Yes, ma'am. All right, man. Let's move on, man. You brought up the topic, the Revanite Nation went on and started talking about the comments of Jack Del Rio. So I'll let you set this one up, Red. You got it.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess Jack Del Rio made some comments. I don't know if it was earlier this week or maybe in the past, and we just not finding out about him. But anyway, the gist of his comments were he was comparing the September 6th Capitol attacks. I guess he was so concerned. Why is it that the people who attacked the Capitol on January 6th, why are they getting just railroaded and investigated and prosecuted when the heathens and the thugs that attacked and that was rioting in Minnesota and across various cities across the United States, why aren't those same people getting prosecuted and railroaded and investigated? Gee, Jack, let's see. One group of people was rioting because they felt their civil rights wasn't being protected by the government. One group of people was rioting in honor of a fallen American citizen by the police who are paid to protect them. That's what was going on in one situation, Jack. Not a group of alley thugs, psychos, maniacs, and lunatics attacking in Capitol because they are following the orders of one mophead Trump, all because he can't understand why he didn't win the election and he's not ready to leave the United States office. Well, too bad. You were voted out. Now get out. And because he didn't want to get out, he sent his, supporters to the Capitol to stage one big coup, and that they did. So you see, Jack, one group of, ooh, Lord, sorry, y'all. One group of people were acting like maniacs. The other group of people was standing up for civil rights not being protected. So do the math, Jack. And I think, Jack, you know exactly the difference, okay? I think you just wanted to get your little racist views out there. You saw opportunity to do so, and you took the opportunity. I don't for 1 second believe you don't know the difference between what's going when you see black folks riding in the city and you see those people attacking the U.S. Capitol on January the 6th. And if you don't know the difference, Jack, dude, you are one clueless moron, and you probably don't need to be coaching NFL football, and you definitely don't need to be coaching African-American players and men. And I'll let Rev talk, and I want to hear some comments from our Rev Night Nation.
Well, Vincent Woodruff said that fool said that people's livelihoods are being destroyed, businesses are being burned down, no problem. And then we have a dust up at the Capitol, nothing burned down, and we're going to make that a major deal. I think that's kind of two standards. Ninja, please. I had to remember this was a family show. Thank you for remembering this family show. But obviously, we see that Jack Del Rio showed his hand. He's definitely a Trump supporter, and he couldn't know how to finesse his foolishness. He made it fully blown. But nevertheless, I'll ask you, Red, real quickly. We know that Ron Rivera, head coach of the Washington Commanders, where Jack Del Rio right now is coaching, he said that Jack Del Rio has apologized for his statement, and he fined his coach $100,000, and that money is supposed to be donated to the COP fund, the Washington Capitol COP fund in DC with the Capitol cops. So what are your thoughts, man? Is that sufficient, or should his job be taken?
This is tough because Jack was just establishing freedom of speech, pretty much just telling us how he felt. Now, we know, if every black coach that came out and told us how he felt, we want their job in jeopardy? Probably not. But now, if it's me, I don't think how I could keep Jack on the payroll. Personally, I would not want Jack working for me, when with those type of thoughts in his head. But like I say, Riverboat Ron, he a different guy, and I'm not gonna necessarily tell him, man, he should fire a guy for speaking his freedom of speech. But I personally, if I was a player in that locker room, I wouldn't want to be coached by the guy. And if I'm in charge of payroll, I definitely wouldn't want that guy on my payroll. So maybe I'm different than Ron, but finding the guy, dude, why even find him? You see what I'm saying? If you find him, that means you think he said something wrong. And if you think he said something wrong, then why is he still around? You see what I'm saying? So either A, you're just not going to do nothing, or B, you're going to do everything. So finding him to me really is like slap on the wrist, slap in your player's face. Really, I mean, you had a player, Brian Mitchell, speak out on the situation. You heard what his thoughts were, and you still went ahead and did what you did. So obviously you're not considering Brian Mitchell's thoughts. So, I mean, okay, look, the Commanders team, look, it's just so much going wrong with that team right now. And Jack is just the latest in a whole bevy of issues they got. But to answer your question, is it sufficient for me? No. But I guess it's sufficient for Riverboat Ron.
Well, I think there's the distinction between the freedom of speech and the freedom to receive the consequences for what you speak, right? So you could have the freedom to say whatever you want to, but that doesn't mean it doesn't come without consequences, you know? So just because somebody exercises that right, if it comes to firing, if people, organization don't appreciate what is being said, or if it doesn't go along with the team's morals and values, and you could be fired for exercising your freedom of speech in the wrong way within that organization. So I think that he may find it very difficult to be able to coach, especially predominantly black, a team that has predominantly black players on it. And so I don't know if Jack Del Rio will survive this. He's surviving the storm right now, but the telltale sign would be if the players will respond to him once they get back on the field, because we clearly see that he did not know how to bring about a clear distinction between, as the VP said, treason versus protests. And he tried to make it look like protests are worse than treason. And that lets you know that he definitely has his head in the sand, and that he's one of these loyal Trump supporters. And I don't think you should get fired for being a Trump supporter, but you should get fired if you say something stupid as you're being a Trump supporter. And what he said was stupid, flat out stupid, terrible comparison. And if he does get fired, surely I will not be crying any tears for him. All right. Jackers always apologizing for being jerks. If a black would have come out against anything, he would be held accountable. Jack Del Rio needs to be canceled. I can't deny that. Jack Del Rio needs, what does he need? Kelly Cal, you left us hanging. What did he need?
She said she came back with it.
Okay, he needs what? It ain't come up yet. You see something I don't see?
I know it's on the comments. To be gone. She wants him to be gone.
All right, needs to be gone. Okay, all right, cool. Let's move on, man.
Man, Kelly, why your comment didn't pop up?
Deshaun Watson's difficulties, man. Here we are again. The 24th woman has come forward saying that Deshaun Watson did some inappropriate things, who's filed a civil lawsuit. One report talks about he had a little towel trick that he used to do with the various masseuses. We do learn that the Cleveland Browns are still staying true to Deshaun Watson, not seeking to void his contract extension. And it's very interesting that this year his contract is only on the hook for $1 million. So if he gets fined and suspended this year, he won't be losing that much money. So what are your thoughts, man, about Deshaun Watson's difficulties? Should he be suspended for the season, What does his future look like in Cleveland? What you got, Red?
First of all, I don't know anything about Deshaun Watson's difficulties. I don't think he's having a difficult time doing anything right now, except for maybe getting back on the field. Seems like he's getting massage. Seems like his bank account is just fine. Seems like, man, he is having a good time for now. But man, this is crazy right here. This is it's just crazy. And it's getting to the point where I don't even know what do they expect us in the media to say about these crazy clowns. I mean, dude, you got 24 lawsuits from massage therapists. You got 60 possible massage therapists that you use. I mean, Deshaun, dude, what are you doing? You looking like a predator right now, dude. You looking like a sexual predator for massage therapists. I hate to say it because, I mean, I was, I was a fan, I like to see Deshaun Watson play. I was cheering for good things for Deshaun Watson, being a young black guy, young black brother from Georgia, you like to cheer for brothers like this, man. But dude, one thing you know about me is Red don't put himself in a situation where he gonna be looking silly and bad, especially sticking up for athletes that don't deserve it. Now, dude, once again, you put yourself in this stupid situation, man. It don't have nothing to do with getting ladies. It ain't got nothing to do with you. You just living your dude. You doing some crazy stuff. I mean, you got lawsuits coming from 24 different women. And I know you got Mike all on Facebook you got folks out there talking about conspiracy theories. Yeah, we didn't hear nothing about the lawsuits until he decided ask for a trade from Cleveland. Yeah, but you still got the lawsuits, okay? You got women going on TV giving interviews. You got folks filing lawsuits at the courthouse against this guy. You got 40 more possible lawsuits that could possibly happen, okay? I'm sorry, y'all. They don't act like 60, don't act like it's lawsuits coming down on every black athlete out there, okay? Every black athlete out there don't have 24 different massage therapists, and they definitely don't have 24 different massage therapists filing lawsuits, okay? So spare me with the conspiracy theory. This dude got to take some responsibility for his stupid actions right now. And I'm just appalled. I'm ashamed. I'm disappointed. All of the above in Deshaun Watson. I'm just so tired of seeing these young, dumb black athletes with money put themselves in these stupid asinine situations they would never even think about being in if they were just regular guys like us working. Why is it regular brothers on the street can get as much tail and have as much fun with the ladies all they want to, and you never hear about these crazy stories? You only hear about these crazy stories from these young, dumb black athletes with too much money and too much time on their hand. It's like they have no idea how to live their life, how to be men. Who in the world are raising these young dumb bums, man? I mean, it just upsets me when I keep hearing these guys putting themselves in this position, putting their careers in jeopardy, putting the future of their families in jeopardy, when all you got to do, Deshaun, all you got to do is play football, man. That's all you got to do. What are you doing messing around with these massage therapists? If you need to get laid, there are plenty of ways to get laid where you won't be involved in these situations right here, man. So, Rev, I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of having to come on here and explain what are these guys thinking? How are they putting themselves in these positions? It's just getting sickening. I'm just disgusted how these guys just can't focus on what they need to focus on. And I have no problem with guys looking for tail when they're not playing. It's just a way you go about doing things to keep yourself out the police blotter, the news blotter, the online blotter, and just keeping yourself from looking bad and bringing shame on you, your family, your team, and all of the above. Sick of it, Ray. I'm getting tired of having to defend these actions and these thoughts of these morons.
All right, we're going to try to bring Coach in to give his comments, since Sister Brickus was asking where Coach is. Now, just letting everybody know, this is going to be Coach's last time to come in. If he goes out, we're going to see him for episode 242. All right, so Coach, did you pray for your stream? Did you pray for your internet connection before you come in? All right. Let's go, Coach.
Hi, peoples.
Give us your comment on Deshaun Watson. We ain't got time for the
Told
preliminary.
you the car was your business.
Okay,
Third.
have y'all noticed something just looking off the top of your head? Deshaun Watson starting to look more and more like R. Kelly. Face-wise, action-wise. He's starting to look like R. Kelly. And now he got more women accusing him than touchdowns. And, you know, Deshaun,
Hey, I guess it.
I don't think you're going to play this year, me personally. I don't think you're going to touch the football this year. Maybe next year or whenever. But his lawyer is saying some stupid things too. So it's not looking very good for him to be on the field. And Deshaun, I'm sorry, but your actions have caused you all this problem. You didn't need all those massages. You can get one massage therapist, pay them roughly $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, and keep it moving. That's your massage therapist for the year, and moving on. You have a slight problem, sir, and the only way you're gonna fix it is between your ears, because it's not looking good for him playing it down. Baker Mayfield, you got something to do with this, I think, because you want to play. I think you got something behind the scenes, Baker Mayfield, because they haven't cut you yet, and you still on the team, so you may be the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. And that's all I got, Real.
Well, let me say this. I'm going to be slow to call Deshaun Watson out as anything because he hasn't been convicted of anything. So I think we got to be careful of allowing the media to influence our thinking about the young man. Does it look suspect? Of course it does. We can't tell a man what to do with his money, but we can see that, it looks a bit excessive to have that many massage therapists, but the man can do whatever he wants to with his money. It's still up for debate to see if he did anything wrong. He was not convicted of anything, and he has not dished out any money to settle with anyone. So we still, from my perspective, have to go with the innocent until proven guilty. I do, and Red made a point earlier, but I'm gonna have to say it's a valid point when people say that all of this stuff didn't come out until he started trying to chart his own course. And that was, he was going to be the first quarterback to start doing in the NFL what NBA players have been doing, basically saying they want out somewhere. And the NFL, I think, maybe trying to make a prime example out of Deshaun Watson to say, we're not going to have this in the NFL like they have in the NBA. We know that the NFL has a bunch of guys who own these teams that are very suspect when it comes to their love for black people. They love what black players can do to make them money, but in terms of black people as a whole, it's questionable if they truly love black people. So let's not get it twisted that we ain't hear nothing about Deshaun Watson's massage therapist. Nobody was complaining until that man started talking about charting his own course. And then all of a sudden, all these women come loose. Now, let's also understand this. These owners got money. Who's to say that the owner in Houston, before he traded, didn't put some of these women up to it? Do we know that or not? Because think about it. They wouldn't do anything to disparage the man. And again, they are trying to make sure that they don't want these players to get beside themselves, in terms of dictating where they want to go. Because like Jerry Jones already showed it, basically saying these dudes going to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance no matter what, like these guys on the plantation. So I think we just got to be careful of how we berate Deshaun Watson. If another 14 women come next time this week and say he did something, my position is going to stay the same. He's not been charged with anything. He hasn't been, he hadn't settled or anything. The man has held tight because think about it. Most black men, if they were even innocent, would have caved to the pressure of having their name slung through the mud, so they would have been writing out checks. This young man has not written out one check to anybody when it could be very easy to say, let me pull out my checkbook. I got this $240 million guaranteed so that my name can stop being drugged through the mud. And if he hadn't done anything, I applaud him because I'm like that dude. If I haven't done anything, I'm not pulling out my checkbook to pay anybody anything just to have my name not be drugged through the mud. So I'm going to be careful before I label Deshaun Watson as anything other than a football player. And the other stuff is to be determined. We don't know what took place. I am fearful of allowing the media to dictate my thoughts. Having been a former college basketball player, having been in a situation where I had 3 teammates at Morehouse College whose names were drugged through the mud just because they put themselves in a bad situation, but they did not commit the crime that their names were being slung through the media of doing. And those young men, one of them has never recovered from what the media did, what some personnel did in the AUC. So that's why I'm very careful not to jump on the bandwagon, because the media will frame a story before they have all the facts. And until we have the facts, gentlemen, I think it would be good for us to just make sure that we're careful before we disparage Deshaun Watson too much. And my last point is this. Deshaun Watson did not grow up like the average football player. And I'm saying this on the other side if it is true. We don't know. But Deshaun Watson is living a life that he's never experienced. So therefore, when you're living a life that you've never experienced, you will splurge in certain areas. Let's remember, Deshaun Watson's family were one of the receivers from Warrick Dunn's Habitat for Humanity house giveaways. So he grew up poor. When people grow up poor and they get money, they are living a life that they have never, ever experienced. I see it with preachers, how they overindulge in certain things, especially when they grow up poor. Now they have access to power, they have access to resources. So sometimes that can cause some people not to be able to respond or behave in a certain way. So we got to understand, like, this is a new life for Deshaun. Does it look good? No. Does it look like he put himself in a bad situation? Yes. But do we know if it's true or not? We sure don't. So this is why we got to be careful.
Rev,
Go ahead.
to your point, and I totally agree. But there's another thing that I know you know it, that they're not talking about. Remember way back when Deshaun Watson first, when he was playing for Texas, he played those years and he did everything. This all came out. I know I got your point about it came out when he tried to make his own brand. This all came out when he asked for a trade.
Mm-hmm.
He asked for a trade. Boom. Soon as it hit the market, he said, "Oh, he wants a trade." Okay, here come the allegations. Here they come, out of nowhere. Allegations of this and that, and this also plays into the what you were talking about. Him trying to be his own man or whatever, and that now they're trying to disparage him. And again, I have to do this. It seems like every week I have to do this. let me I don't want to take my glasses off. I'm gonna keep them on. Jerome Case. The thing with R. Kelly was a joke, sir. I'm not comparing Deshaun Watson to a pedophile that R. Kelly. They look alike. That's what I was trying to say. They were starting to look alike in facial expression and face and the way they looked. It was not calling Deshaun Watson a pedophile. I want to clear that up for you. And if anybody else that might think that I'm comparing him to, he looked like R. Kelly. That's what I was saying in the story.
Any closing comments, Red, that you may have on this subject matter?
No.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens, and we'll see what the end will be. We'll see if Deshaun Watson is exonerated or will he be charged. And obviously, we already know that because of the policies of the NFL, they can suspend him even without any conviction. So it's quite conceivable that he'll be suspended. And in Deshaun Watson's favor, if he is going to be suspended, this would be the year to do it since he's only on the hook for $1 million. If I were Deshaun Watson, I would say, go ahead on and do what you're going to do with me this year, because I want to be able to tap into that money next year. And it's going to be interesting to see how long the Cleveland Browns will be able to support him, because I'm sure there's a various women's group just based on the allegations who are trying to push hard to get him up out of there. So time will definitely tell. All right. One last thing before we go to halftime. Prime and JSU players on the cover of SI, Black College Football, getting some major pub with the #1 high school recruit coming to JSU. And then also Prime's son, the quarterback, will be gracing the cover of SI Sports Illustrated. I know Coach Patrick Thomas is elated about that news. Tell us how you feel, Coach.
Well, if you look at it, you see, I mean, it's a good thing. You're getting the HBCU some love. And, they don't get much because they consider HBCU football inferior to everything else. But I'm going to play devil's advocate on the other side. Travis Hunter, being a freshman, now, unfortunately, just by things I've heard, has a target on his back now, as well as Sanders. Because now, players are going to come at him. On the defensive end, they're going to come at Sanders. On the offensive end, they're going to come at Hunter, because they're going to say, I've heard people talking in these SWAC groups talking about, yeah, we're going to see what you do on the field, Sports Illustrated. Yeah, what y'all doing now, Sports Illustrated? You got on the cover, but you can't do anything about it. And I caution people to watch out for that. That might be a backlash from some people who want to prove something, like the Alabama States, the Alcorns, and all the schools in the SWAC, who going to want to try to test these two young men and going to try to really disparage them to make it seem like, oh, y'all on the cover, but you can't throw a touchdown. Oh, you on the cover, but I just burnt you for 50 yards. Things like that, which, you shouldn't be thinking like that. You should be congratulating the young fellas and the coach for being on the cover, giving them praise, because it's only been like 3 SWAC covers. This one, Steve McNair, and Eddie Robinson. So celebrate the achievements. Don't try to find a way. That's just competition, I guess. I'm going to try to see if I can burn this guy. I'm going to try to see if I can tackle Sanders enough times, and call him Sports Illustrated.
Red, you got some interesting facial expressions for what Coach said. So what's on your mind, sir?
Nothing. I think it's great that the JSU and the SWAC, the HBCU schools, are definitely getting this press. I mean, the cover Sports Illustrated, that's big right now for the cornerback, for Deion's son, and for Deion, and in this program in whole. I guess I was just listening to the coach saying that big time recruited players are gonna have a target on their back, and I was just thinking like, well, yeah, coach, most big time players coming in the program, they're gonna have a target on their back, and most players are gonna seek those players out and see how they perform well up against them. So I'm not surprised a big time receiver in the SWAC is gonna seek out that cornerback and try to see what type of game he gonna have against them. I'm not gonna be surprised when somebody see Deion's son and try to see how tough he is on the football field, see if he belongs. So that's just how it is to me. When you're highly recruited player. When you're a big time player coming into the program, people gonna try you. They gonna test you. They gonna see if everything they heard about you is all that. So we're definitely gonna see the cornerback and Deion's son get tested. So, and I hope they're ready for the challenge because they definitely gonna get it. As far as the Sports Illustrated cover, I think it's great publicity. Like I say, I think Deion, man, since Deion been down in Jackson State, man, he just been bringing a lot of good things down there. A lot of things we don't usually see with a lot of these HBCU schools. I mean, the number one recruit in the nation was recruited by Deion in HBCU school. We got HBCU schools on the cover of Sports Illustrated. We got HBCU schools, you know, games being televised now. So I think Deion as a whole has been a bright light for a lot of these HBCU programs, and I'm hoping that more bright lights shine and more publicity shines on a lot of these HBCU programs. The Tennessee States with Eddie George, and just I hope more popular coaches are hired by these HBCU schools so they can get more light shine on them and the players they represent. So it's good for me for the Sports Illustrated cover.
It's definitely excellent that they got this publicity. I think it's been a blessing for HBCUs, for Deion, who's such a high profile person, very polarizing figure, to give this kind of attention to HBCUs. So from the cover perspective, it's great. And it's going to continue to allow people to pay attention to Black college football. More people are probably paying attention to Black college football than ever before. Even when you had great players to play, you know, last time I remember people really paying attention to Black college football in mass was when Steve McNair was doing all that he was doing at Alcorn, because, you know, he had the nickname Air McNair. But we haven't seen this type of attention on Black college football since then. So from that perspective, yeah. And then the people who Coach referenced to in terms of blogs, talking about, you know, he's going to have to meet stiff competition and people are going to go at him. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to go at him with his own teammates are going to go after him, because it's going to start in practice at JSU. Trust me, those wide receivers are salivating to be able to go after this guy who was labeled the best cornerback in the nation, because if they toast him in practice, then they're looking at a high trajectory to go to the pros. So he will be tested way before the first game of the season. That's what we do when we hit a college campus. We know that everybody's supposed to be all this and all that from different places, and none of that stuff means anything once we hit the college campus. So trust me, he's going to get his first feel at JSU when they practice this summer, because people are going to be able to brag, especially those wide receivers, if they toast them. And they're going to feel real good about themselves. So, you know, he's going to be ready.
Put me in, Coach. I got Sports Illustrated. Come on, Sports Illustrated. Bring some air my way, buddy.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to call him and Deion's son, Sports Illustrated. Trust me, those guys deep down are not excited about not being on the cover. They're excited about their school being on the cover and Coach Prime. But trust me, deep down, like, well, I'm not on the cover. That's especially those fringe players, you know, who've been putting in work for some years. You know, your juniors and your seniors who've been putting in that work, and then you got the freshmen, and then the guy who hadn't even played a down yet. Hey,
Real. It would have been better off he went to one of the power schools, man. Maybe he would have fit in. He wouldn't have had so much jealousy and envy. Because, man, he going to get really challenged at Jackson State. But it's good for him. It's going to toughen him up. He's going to make sure he's definitely going to be ready for the pros when it's time for him to go.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Now, Coach, I want you to come clean, because we know that Jackson State is one of your rival schools. Now, do they consider Mississippi Valley State a rival?
They don't.
Oh, okay.
Because of the number of wins that they got over Mississippi Valley State. So they wouldn't say it's a rival with Mississippi schools, but not an actual rival, because Jackson State has been dominating the games.
So now, are you deep down happy about JSU being on the cover? Deep down.
I mean, I'm not gonna go to the length of calling him Coach Prime. I say he Coach Sanders to me. But anytime you can get young black athletes to be able to be on the cover of any major magazine, that's a good thing. Because we don't the HBCUs, especially the SWAC, don't get as much love as they deserve, and they've had some good athletes come through there. But hey, when you get notoriety, more people are looking at you. That could help more people look at the SWAC in a whole. But JSU, we coming for y'all. Y'all beat us by 10 last year. Y'all got by. We coming for you this year, partner. Get ready, because we got a nice little recruit of our own under center, who is not as big as Travis Hunter, but he is the #1 junior college quarterback in the country. So hey, that adds to our lineup right there. He gonna help us out.
So are you going on record today that Mississippi Valley State will beat Jackson State in the fall? Are you on record? Are you on record?
Yes, sir. I can't do anything else. If I do anything else, then I'll be considered a traitor. I don't care about the publicity that Jackson State getting, all the hype. Like I said, they beat us late in the game last year by 10 points. So in the fourth quarter. So hey, we can improve. We improve. They're not the only school that improved. So you can look at everybody getting all the SWAC has gotten some players. Now they ain't got anybody on the scale of Travis Hunter, but all the SWAC teams have been getting transfers and signing players. So hey, who knows? You never know. And then Jackson State actually, it's funny, have had some people, I guess they said they couldn't cut it, left.
Coach, when the last time Mississippi Valley beat Jackson State?
That's a few years ago.
2 years ago?
A few.
Oh,
What's a few, Coach?
It's been a while. I told you.
Why are you so confident that now when Jackson State has got big time recruits, a big time coach, and all of this swag and publicity, now you saying y'all gonna beat Jackson State?
You said big time. You said big time recruits. Can you name another recruit other than Travis Hunter?
Well, he's the #1 recruit in the nation.
One player cannot change a game now.
But I can't name anybody at Mississippi Valley.
I just told you.
Because
you don't follow college football like I do. You don't.
So, Coach, besides, all right, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Besides the quarterback that transferred that you told me about this week, the JUCO transfer, who else is a top recruit that Valley got this year?
Mississippi Valley got 2 defensive linemen to replace the one who graduated.
They top defensive linemen. Every school got position players to replace them.
I can tell you that they're not 5-star. They 3 and 4 stars. No 5 stars. No, they 3 and 4 stars. They not. Valley got no 5-star players. 0. I can tell you that now.
And you think they gonna be ready for JSU?
Mississippi Valley is returning most of their defense, except for the defensive line. They're returning 6-7 starters. So hey, anything can happen in SWAC football. It just goes to show. Now that first game, people talk about Jackson State. What the game is going to tell a lot in the SWAC is the first game of the year when Jackson State plays FAMU down in the Orange Blossom Classic. The first game of the year. And last year, Jackson State beat FAMU 7-6. So I'm interested to see how that game is going to turn out from the rip right off the bat to see who. If Jackson State goes out there and punishes them, then hey, Jackson State is the team. They're the team to beat as it is. But they go out there and punish FAMU, then that's gonna sell a lot for the SWAC championship.
Coach, you sound a little like Kelly when she's trying to give us reasons her yellow jacket toilet bowl will have a chance against UGA. I don't think Mississippi Valley have a. I don't think Mississippi Valley have a chance to beat Dion's team this year. But it's nice that you trying to pretend like they got a chance though.
But see, that's because you don't know enough about the SWAC. That's the only reason you're saying that. You only hear about Jackson State. You don't hear about Southern.
Now I'm sure we're gonna talk about this again when that week come up. And I'm pretty sure that I'm going to choose Jackson State. Now, I'm probably going to choose them in a blowout, but you saying it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, they didn't blow us out last season. So, hey.
And you saying this new quarterback you guys got he's gonna be able to keep the game close.
6'3", 220.
6'3", 220.
Okay. There's a question for you, Coach. From
I don't know if he helped him yet. They working on that.
Where you from? I assume that kid you talking about, he from Mississippi, right?
No, he's not. I think. Let me see. I forgot where he's actually from.
Y'all got a kid from out of town?
Yeah, man, they always get kids from out of town, and sometimes that is the problem for me. They going out of state when you got good kids inside that state that are able to that want to come to the school. Oh Lord, you wrong. Not the vanilla wafers.
So
All right, Coach, we gonna see, man. I know I can't get on you for having pride in your school, man. But man, if they blow this team out.
Well, let me say this, Coach. I just went online. Jackson State not only got 1 5-star recruit, but they got 3 4-stars and 2 3-stars.
Yeah, without a doubt they're gonna get some good players because of your coaching. Because a lot of people want to play.
If you did not go to Mississippi Valley State, would you have just said all that you said the past 3 minutes?
Nope, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, I think we get some of the Westbrook treatment right here. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Coach, once again, if Coach loves you, he's going to ride with you till the wheels fall off. So that's right. One thing you got to know about Coach. And he is loyal. So,
if I jumped on here and say Mississippi Valley going to get blown out by Jackson State, man, I get talked about.
Yeah, same way. Yeah. Tuskegee used to hand it to Morehouse, but Morehouse got him this past year. Thank you so much. That will be known as the. You did misspell field, but I like what you said. That will be known as the field at Prime.
Again, slow down and type, Jerome, while you trying to. I do believe what I said, Vincent. Just like you believe about anything in South Carolina.
It's halftime, ladies and gentlemen.
You don't say crazy stuff about South Carolina.
Y'all did see how Coach did hijack a segment where we supposed to be giving praise to JSU, and he done turned it about Mississippi Valley State.
I told you.
He hijacked the segment. Nevertheless, he didn't want JSU to get that shine. It's all right, Coach. Nevertheless, everybody, thanks for hanging out for the first half of the Red and Red Sports Show. We got the second half coming up. We're going to be talking about the NBA and some baseball coming right up. We'll be back in a few seconds. And we are back with the second half of the Red and Red Sports Show. I don't know why Red would wait until the end of halftime to get up and move, but nevertheless, he's back in his seat. Okay. We got some comments that we must show before we move on. I love it. Coach will ride with you with 3 wheels in the car.
The car boot.
And that was a definite. The president and the VP giving us some laughs on today. Boy. Coach, you something else, man.
Hey man, put what Yvonne Williams said so I can correct her too.
Was she's okay?
What she say?
About Case or what? What did she say?
No, what she said about Jerry Rice and what she put at the end.
Let's see what she said.
Did Jerry Rice graduate from MVS?
Where's MVS?
Mississippi Valley State, ain't it?
University. MVSU. Yvonne Williams. You saved yourself the first time when you said HBSU.
Come on, Coach, man. We're not going to get on those.
I know. I had to tease her. I had to sneak and tease her a little bit.
And we know y'all are university, all the way in the cotton fields. Y'all are university. We give y'all props. All right, let's move on, man. Red, get your Braves report, Red. Let me get the cutest Braves music. We got a lot to be shouting about this with the Braves. They are really playing some good baseball. Let's do it, man. On beat, Coach. What you got, Red?
Well, what do I have? Oh, it feels so good to be a Braves fan these days, as you can tell by the big smile on my face. Oh, well, my Braves pretty much perfect this week. Hadn't lost one game this week. Hadn't lost one game in the last 9 games. 9-game winning streak. Go, Bravos, go. Oh, well, who do we whoop up on this week? The Oakland A's came to town and thought they was going to end their little 7-game losing streak. Nope, not on our watch. You thought you were going to end it playing us? Please. Got doggone 13-2 one game and beat you like crap the other game. I forgot the score, but I know you lost. That's all I know. You lost, okay? I know our pitching has just been unbelievable. Our bats are awake and they are booming. I mean, everybody on the team is in a groove right now. I mean, Snick called a meeting about, 10 games ago. And ever since that meeting, not one loss. You understand? Because Snick is pushing the right buttons. My manager who I've criticized all on this show, numerous episodes, me and Rev have criticized Snick. Well, now I'm finding out Snick might just be the right manager for this job right here. I mean, because the Braves losing streaks, winning streaks, high, lows, Snick just be the same. And it means something in the locker room. It circulates all around the locker room. Nobody never panic. Everybody is even killed because we know what type of team we got, and we know that we will do whatever it takes to make a run. Braves pitching right now, the best in baseball. Bullpen is the best. Our pitching, top 5 in the National League. Our bats, top 5 in the National League. We got 2 Cy Young candidates right here. We got an MVP candidate. The All-Star voting has begun. Make sure you cash the votes for the Braves, y'all. I've been doing it the past 2 nights. So, Rev, all I got to say for my Braves report. Oh, let me tell you what happened this week, though. We did beat Oakland twice, and we beat up on who was that little team we beat up on last night? Pittsburgh, that's right. Thanks, Coach. Pittsburgh Steelers fan. That's right. We beat up on Oakland, we beat up on Pittsburgh. We got the Washington Nationals next. We got the Cubs next. Whoever, because you getting us at the right time because we on the ball. The Mets, they looking behind now. They was feeling good, but now they watching scoreboards now because they see us on their tail. And they probably going to start to play a little nervous now. That's exactly what we want. Now, Philly, the Philadelphia Phillies have been hot too. They done won 7 or 8 games in a row. Hopefully the Arizona will cool them off. Somebody will cool them off. But anyway, it's all about my Braves. Playing good ball, doing what they need to do right now. They are doing whatever they need to do to make sure they stay ready to make another championship run for our second back-to-back ring. I'm feeling good about my Braves right now, Rev. Coach, I'm feeling so good. All I got to do, Braves, just keep it rolling. Chop on. Beat Pittsburgh Day and just keep it rolling. I'm feeling good because y'all playing good.
Coach, your thoughts?
Really nothing to add because they hey, this is what we were waiting on. This is what for the Braves to get hot. And hey, Thomas, we 6.6.5 games back. We got a long way to go, brother.
That is nothing.
The Braves keep it up. If nothing else, you want to at least keep in the wild card, and then who knows what can happen. All you trying to do is get in the playoffs. If you get in the playoffs, and my boy, who I talked to his dad the other day, his real dad, Michael Money Harris, he loves his son. He said, hey, he just wants his son to maintain. He not asking for a whole lot, for him to try to overextend himself. But that play he made with Andrew Jones in the stands, my goodness. Oh my gosh. You can't, it's hard to teach that, but that kid is gonna be special. And I think he's gonna stay up the rest.
I'm asking for a whole lot. You better give me everything because we need it in that nice spot.
Well, let me just say this. I'm happy that the Braves have been competent chump killers. I'm really happy about that. They could have easily gone 500 during this period, but they're showing that they will take advantage of the schedule that's been presented to them. And that's what they needed to do, especially when they were 9.5 games back. So from that standpoint, I got to give them a lot of credit for handing it to those teams that were put before them. This streak started with one game that they won against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Then they beat the Colorado Rockies in 4. Then they come back, beat the A's, and then they come and are beating the Pittsburgh Pirates in 2 games. So I'm going to give them big ups for that. The reason why I'm not going to be too optimistic yet is because they have not really had in this streak any teams that are going to be there at the end of the season. Every team that they've been beaten up on, they probably won't be going to the playoffs. So now, the reason why I'm not going to say that they're pretenders, I believe they're still contenders, is because they have a championship DNA. If they did not win that championship last year, I would be very skeptical about what I'm seeing. I'm happy, but I would like to see them do this against some of the better competition. While at the same time, because they showed that they can, turn it on, and they did win a World Series, I have to say they have championship experience and that this is credible, that they are contenders, even though they've been beaten up on a whole lot of pretenders. So I'm grateful, and I hope that they continue to do what they're doing because the schedule remains very, 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 very favorable for them when you got another 2 with the Pirates today and tomorrow. Then you have a series with the Nationals, and then you come back with the Cubs. The Braves could be really knocking on the Mets' door, and the Mets are really ready to let them walk in the door because they have injuries to Matt Scherzer and Jacob deGrom, who are their 2 top pitchers. So this is the right time for the Braves to get hot, to be knocking on the Mets' door. All right? Jerome,
when you going to call the Braves? When you going to patent the phrase chump killers?
I don't know, man. The Rays need to put Red on the payroll as the team's official. The hype man on Saturdays. That's funny. Vincent Woodard thinks, I wanted to make the correction, but my comment section doesn't appear on my phone anymore. I don't know what I did to remove. Let me correct my mistake now. The Mississippi Valley State University.
That's right.
Asking the question, did Jerry Rice graduate from that school?
Yes, he did. Phi Beta Sigma. Yes, he did.
Okay. All right. What class was he, Coach?
He was he one ahead of me, 1988.
I thought that was 78.
You know what? Here it comes. There's another one I'm gonna write down and remember today. 12.
I thought it was 68.
You know, 12. 16. He's
all
old, Joe.
right, man.
That's all right.
All right, let's move on. Talk a little bit more baseball. Joe Madden, World
Yep.
Series manager with the Cubs. He gets fired in California with the California Angels after his team went on a 12-game losing streak, and they just ended the losing streak, I believe, Thursday, I believe.
Yeah.
But was that a fair firing? Your thoughts, Fred?
Well, I'm not so sure if it was fair or whatnot. I mean, he is Joe Madden. I mean, the dude is a World Series champion. I mean, you need to look at the roster before you start. I mean, the GM really look at the roster and then look at the circumstances. You know, what was going on during the losing streak when you have your best player and one of the worst slumps of his career. You have your best pitcher. I mean, not doing anything. Everybody, I mean, your whole team was struggling at the point. So, I mean, I don't know. I probably would have been a little bit more patient, seeing that it is Joe Madden. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you know, but I mean, it was a extensive losing streak, and the GM, I guess the GM has a better feel of the clubhouse than probably we do. I mean, maybe he felt that a change was the best thing for the Angels, right? I'm not there, you know what I'm saying? It's not a local team, so I'm not really have that much inside knowledge. But I mean, I know Joe Madden is probably one of the best baseballers, one of his most respected managers in baseball. And he's a former World Series champion, not more than 5 years ago. So it was really surprising. I mean, I thought the GM probably would have been a little more patient with Madden. I mean, like I say, we just hit June, you know, so I can understand, like, had they stayed this course right up to, you know, mid-season All-Star break, I can understand saying, okay, I waited as long as I could. I don't see it's going to turn around, but really 14 games, I mean, really just like not even a whole month of games. So I don't know, Rev. I think personally, I think the GM, I think he was a little too aggressive right here. That's my personal opinion. I probably would have waited or just waited a little longer to see if Madden could have flipped the switch to see, because like I said, you still have injuries, just to see the team could have turned it around. I personally don't think they will. I think he was a little too quick with his trigger finger right here. That's just my personal opinion.
Coach, your thoughts about Madden's firing?
I totally agree with Red. He's a little too quick. I mean, it's 12 games. That's true enough, understandable. But Joe Madden is not a bad manager. Joe Madden, and like I say, he should get some cachet, being that he did win a World Series. And looking at the roster, you look at that. I'm sorry, Anaheim or whatever Angels roster they got.
Los Angeles, Anaheim.
Whatever they are. You're not looking at a whole lot of star power. You're not looking at it, and he's doing what he can. Trout has been hurt. Ohtani, he's come down to earth a little bit, but he's still a great player. So, to fire a man just off the cuff right like that was kind of a bad move. I don't think it was appropriate at the time. And you still got plenty of baseball left. So, hey, what happens when they go on a 12-game winning streak? Then you start looking. So it was foul to me.
Hold on, man. Y'all said they don't have a lot of star power? Oh, Tony?
Right.
Mike Trout?
Yes.
Rendon?
What has Rendon done this year?
He hadn't done much, but he ain't no slouch. Now, we know that when he played for the Washington Nationals.
All right.
Now,
I don't think the Angels know it, though.
I mean, that may be true as well. He might have had a little setbacks, but let's not act like this wasn't the same roster that was just so many games over 500. They were in first place.
Yeah.
So I think
Right.
you all.
That's why I don't understand the quick trigger.
Well, here's the thing. I think you all are giving him a pass because he has World Series championship DNA. But here's the thing that I pay attention to. If the firing was not justified, then why haven't we heard anything from Mike Trout? Why haven't we heard anything from Ohtani's translator?
I don't know the translator. I don't know if the translator gonna be aggressive in making a statement.
No. I'm saying the translator.
I know, yeah. I know what you mean. I got it.
You see what I'm saying?
But Ram,
so by virtue.
Well,
by
I can see Ohtani now. Ohtani, get that statement out here now.
Right.
Make a statement.
Exactly. I'm waiting for the statement from the translator because Ohtani is probably, arguably, one of the top names in baseball, but probably the top name internationally, right?
Yeah, definitely the most popular international.
He
on the cover of MLB The Show. So.
Right. He's the most versatile player in baseball. Who else could hit with power and pitch like he can? Mike Trout has been beasting, even though it's never been done really in the playoffs. But Mike Trout is one of the best players to ever lace them up numbers-wise, right? And I have not yet seen any comment talking about Madden should still be there. I think Madden hurt himself in that press conference, going back and forth with that reporter. And I think, Madden did not help himself by trying to present something that would give fans and even the organization optimism. It's almost like it is what it is. What else could I do? In those kind of situations, less is more. They're not very popular right now. You just went on a 12-game win streak. Speak something positive into the atmosphere. Speak like this will not last always. We're going to turn it around. I believe in my guys. Things of that nature. And I think the losing streak got the best of him, where he just lost any sense of optimism. And when a manager is in that position, he got to go. And that's why I can't say it was a bad move, because I'm looking at Trout and Ohtani, and neither one of them have said anything. So that lets me know that maybe his voice had gotten stale in the locker room.
That's a good point, Real.
So he should have had a press conference like Hal McRae.
Oh, Hal McRae, man.
I hope not, Coach. I don't want him picking up phones and slamming them against the wall, kicking reporters out the office. Well, no, wait a minute. Real was saying, no, that's not what he wanted. He wanted a positive.
I want positive.
Hal McRae, that was the most, that was a scary approach.
That was anger management problems right there.
I mean, you had media members giving opinions on Hal's love life. He was so crazy that day. They were saying, man, maybe Hal needs some romance in his life. I'm saying that's how serious that Hal she was when he just went ham that day. I mean, we all know what Coach talking about. I mean, picking up the phone, get the out of my office, take this and get out. I mean, man, he went ham like folks want me to go ham on the show sometime. That's how Hal McRae went in on that press conference that day.
No doubt about it. All right,
that was like a Lou Piniella. They always play that one when they talk about the most egregious rants of all time.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. Because they done got on you with your diploma, man. He said you had a stone, papyrus, hieroglyphics. I mean, they just on you, Coach.
All I can say.
Oh my God, man, y'all crazy.
I apologize for igniting that fire, Coach. I apologize. Rev, the Angels coach may have been ready to go tired, so no one is saying anything. Might be very true. All right, let's shift gears, man.
Y'all know one day.
Let's shift gears. Let's talk a little basketball before we jump into the series. let's talk a little bit of Draymond Green.
Uh,
Let's talk a little Draymond Green. He loves that basketball. All right, gentlemen, let's jump right into it.
wait a minute, Red. Wait a minute. Showing your church pipes.
Huh?
Showing off your church pipes.
Yeah, I could do that from time to time. All right, man, let's jump into this game that took place. So we know that Draymond Green has been a subject of high importance this past week. His podcasts have been lifted up about, is he giving other teams strategy through what is being said through his podcast. We know that he hasn't played the best basketball lately. In game 3, brother only had 2 points. Last night, I think he came back with another 2-point performance. And the Golden State Warriors wound up coming back towards the end of the game with him on the bench rather than him being on the court. So we know that he's done more turning the ball over than scoring. We know he's done more yelling at referees than he has made a positive impact on the court. And we know he's probably tackled more people than he's actually put points on the board. So with those things being said, with Golden State pulling out the victory yesterday without Draymond Green's help, is Draymond Green a problem? And do we think that the Golden State Warriors will keep him on the bench going forward or limit his minutes? Your thoughts, Red?
Is Draymond Green a problem? Yes, he is. But some people might say he's a good problem. Me, I say he's just an irritating problem, a mosquito-like problem, and eventually they're gonna swat him right up out of California. And honestly, I thought it would have happened by now. I mean, especially during the down years when they weren't winning. I thought eventually he would just play his way right out of town before they went on another championship run. Okay, they haven't. But when you look at his contributions, Rev, coach, I mean, really. I mean, 2 points here, 2 points there, 3 points here, Mr. Triple Single. I mean, dude, you have more altercations with the refs. You do more podcasts with your partners than you score points in basketball games. You got more podcasts than points, man. That's a problem. You got more altercations with the refs and yelling and bolstering than you do anything you do in the game. Yeah, I know you play defense, and yeah, I know the Warriors always saying, well, he leads us with his energy and all that. Dude, that energy ain't leading them nowhere when they getting blown out by the Celtics on a given night. Yeah, during the regular season, but when it's time for championship basketball, when you're going up against a physical team of dogs like the Celtics got, what good is Draymond's energy and all of that showboating if it's not contributing to anything productive on the basketball court? I mean, Triple Single, dude, you are $100 million player. There is no game, especially a game in the NBA Finals, where you should be having single points scored. I mean, come on now, dude. They pay you for more than that. All this energy that you're giving to the team, well, where is it when they losing? When they getting beat by 20 points, where's the energy then? Like I say, all of these altercations you doing and then chastising the referees, what is that? What is that doing? How is that helping the team? Like I say, I don't get it. I put this on my page years ago. I'm sure y'all remember when I used to always post, I think Draymond Green has a mental problem. I used to say same thing about Boogie Cousins. Seems like he's don't got more karma than Draymond now. Draymond is just a caricature of himself. Sorry, I know y'all gonna get on me for misusing that word. He's a mosquito. He's a pest. He's a liability at best. Like I say, he doesn't do anything but make himself be seen, draw attention to himself. Like I say, coming to the press conference using language like that in front of his son, no excuse for that. I hear you, Red, you say that he's trying to set himself up for his future after playing. But if he keep with these little issues, TNT and ESPN ain't gonna hire him, not doing crazy stuff like that. So I hope you know what you're doing, Draymond. But for right now, you ain't doing nothing on the court. So I hope you position yourself to doing something off the court, but you ain't doing nothing on the court, and it's looking bad. And I hope the Warriors win championship, but I just don't know with these minor and meaningless contributions that you're doing. It's for $100 million player.
Coach, your thoughts on Draymond's antics?
It's a conspiracy theory. Draymond trying to act out like that so Steph Curry can win the MVP. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I ain't gonna say that. It's the thing of Draymond. Your an old wrestler, who the old wrestler Jerry Lawler used to say, your alligator mouth overloading your hummingbird rear end. You talk a lot, you do it a whole lot, but when you have more fouls than points, something not right. And I know everybody make excuses for him. Oh, he's not there to score points. He's there for an emotional lift, like Red said. Oh, he's there to do this and that. He's not there to score points. But the Golden State Warriors, when you scored 4 points in 2 games, they're going to need a little help with some points, sir. They're going to need some help with some points coming from you. And you are now no more than a mouthpiece. All you're doing is talking and blah, 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 getting in feuds with people off the court like Durant, Charles Barkley, Kendrick Perkins, everybody talking. You worried about them more than you worried about your game. And now it's showing. And everybody know, I don't care what anybody say. If Draymond Green played for another team other than Golden State, you wouldn't hear nothing from him. Nothing. He would be a role player, pretty much, and that'll be it. So he's gonna have to show somebody that he can play. Or if Boston gonna win this series, he gonna have to show step up and play like he did in Game 2. Now Game 2 he did good, but the other games, terrible.
Yeah, I mean, no need to reiterate what you all have said. He has shot 2 for 11 the past 2 games. He had 6 fouls. He fouled out last night. Fouled out game 3, I'm sorry. Had 3 fouls last night. So that's 9 fouls to 4 points. In game 4 yesterday, he did have 9 rebounds, 8 assists. So that he did contribute in that area, but he's hurting them offensively because he's not even looking to score. He doesn't even want to square up to the basket. And he's putting actually more pressure on Golden State because on offense, it's almost like it's 4 against 5. And that's where he's going to have to score. Like big ups to Andrew Wiggins, who double-doubled yesterday, and Looney played some solid minutes down the stretch where at least he was scoring around the basket. You can't play 40, 45 minutes and not be able to score at all. And that's what the problem is. And at the end of the day, this series is not a good series for Draymond Green. I mean, let's just be real about it. He is undersized. He's not the athlete these big guys that the Celtics are. And, they could just do whatever they want to with, So this is the thing that we have to understand. Draymond is smart, even though he does a lot of things that are stupid. He recognizes in this series, he's at a major disadvantage. He can't out-jump these guys. He can't out-strength these guys. So therefore, that's why he resorted basically in game 2 to playing football, trying to bowl people and trying to intimidate them and things of that nature, because he knows he doesn't have that in any kind of advantage. And he's not a great scorer. So it's going to be interesting to see how Golden State uses him going down the stretch. I'm still surprised. Let's go ahead and shift gears real quickly. I'm still surprised how Steve Kerr will not use Jonathan Kuminga, because I thought he was the missing piece, but he went on and won game 4 without Kuminga, going to tie the series 2-2. So going forward, we have 3 games left. Well, there's the max of 3 games that go in 6. What are you all's thoughts about the series? I'll go first, which I normally don't do as the host. I'm still staying true to my initial prediction. Celtics in 7. Last night was Exhibit A of why I thought the Celtics would win in 7 because they don't know how to harp on success. They had the game won. Even when they went up 5 towards the end, Jaylen Brown took that terrible shot and allowed Golden State to start another run, which they never bounced back from. But it seems like Boston plays better when they're in desperation mode, and they have already shown themselves to have been able to beat some quality teams when they were in desperation mode. So I'm going to still stick with my pick, Golden State in 7. What are your thoughts, Red? You going with Golden State in how many games?
Well, yeah, I'm still sticking with Golden State, but my games have changed. Now I'm going Warriors in 7. I agree with you that I believe that the series is definitely going to go 7 games. It's just the inconsistency and the like you say, the ability to take advantage when you have the upper hand. We see Golden State fails to take advantage when they bounce back from game 2. They failed to take advantage in game 3 when you could have went up 2-1. You saw how they let down right there. Boston, you got a chance to go up 3-1, and you have a letdown at home, and now the series is tied 2-2 going back to Golden State. So, of course, we're going back to Golden State. Golden State will probably win game 5 and have everybody thinking they figured it out. No, they haven't. Boston will go back home and win game 6, probably in beat-down fashion, and have everybody saying, oh, the Warriors, they ain't ready. Look how Boston beat them down again. They finna go back to the Golden State and just lose. No, because then we're going to go back to Golden State right after Golden State get beat down in game 6, and they'll finally have a chance to make up for 2016. This game 7, they actually will win at home. So I'm really speculating right now. Mostly it's a lot of hope. I know how tough Boston is, and really the Celtics should have won yesterday. But the Warriors, they did win. They made it. They tied the series up, did what they had to do. So I'm going to go Warriors in 7. I believe, hoping the Warriors have learned their lesson, and now they'll go home and handle their business in game 6, get beat, and handle their business in game 5, get beat in game 6. Because I doubt the Celtics will lose game 5 and then come home and lose the series. If they do that, I'll be pleasantly surprised, but I'll still be surprised. But like you say, I think it'll go game 7 and the Warriors will rebound from their awful game 6 loss. They'll rebound. It'll be back and forth. It'll probably go down to the wire, just like Cleveland and Golden State did. And this time, I actually think Steph will make a clutch shot. And all the stuff folks were saying about him, oh, is he ready? They ain't done nothing without Kevin Durant. Well, now Steph will have a chance to redeem himself from those moments, those words, and a bounce back. And hopefully he can end this series with a finals MVP. That'll be the icing on the cake for Steph. But I wouldn't be surprised if Boston win game 5 and win game 6. Like I say, but I'm hoping Warriors in 7.
All right, Coach, your thoughts.
Boston, I still say Boston in 6 but man, let's look at game 4. There is no way Boston was going to win that game because anytime you let Steph Curry get 10 rebounds, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
You're going to lose. Steph Curry, 10 rebounds? Ain't no way. You're going to lose that game. There's no way you're going to win. So all that talk about his foot, he answered every question by doing what he did, putting up those numbers. So, but I still say Boston is going to win it in 6. I think they'll win tomorrow night because Boston is showing they're one of the best road teams in the playoffs, if not the best. And I'm still concerned. I guess Clay waiting on the game 6 breakout game, I guess, because I still see him struggling, still doing what he's doing. And what's his name? The Poole, He doing a little something, but I just don't see the winner of tomorrow's game win the series, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be Boston.
That's what I say. Whoever win tomorrow gonna win the series.
All right, so Red got the Warriors in 7. Coach has Celtics in 6. I got the Celtics in 7, and we'll see
But
what
now,
will happen.
if the Celtics pull what they did in 2010, now win tomorrow and then lose the last 2, that'll be bad for Boston. But I would love that. I don't think it's gonna happen. If they win Game 6, I don't see. If the Celtics win Game 5, I don't see them losing the series.
Celtics and whatever they gave the game away. Yep. No doubt. That's what they definitely is. So I'm pretty wouldn't be surprised if Boston wins Game 5, blow it at home, bring it to Game 7. I picked Boston from jump. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, that's what I say. The way you're right. That's a good point, Miss Dana. If Boston, let's say Boston do win Game 5 and Golden State, and everybody say, okay, they're finna go home and close it out. No, that'll be the game. You say what you say, Coach Klay Thompson Game 6. That'll be your Klay Thompson game right there to save the Warriors season. To get it back to Game 7, and like I say, Steph is gonna get a chance to prove himself in this series. I don't know what game it's gonna be, but he's gonna have a chance to redeem himself. I just hope he take advantage
last night. He redeemed himself, went for 40 last night.
Oh yeah, but I mean, in a real clutch moment, because it ain't over. You had to. That game was for survival.
Right.
Now it's gonna be another. Don't worry, Steph gonna have another opportunity.
Yeah, we'll see. And if you're a Golden State fan, you gotta be excited that Klay Thompson has some stretches where he caught fire a little bit. So definitely gotta be excited.
Like Coach said, Klay waiting on Game 6. Well, in Boston to show out.
Gotcha. All right, gentlemen. Well, you all know how we close the show with you have the right to do what, when, where, and how. So who wants at it first?
Go ahead,
Coach.
Tennessee Volunteers, you have the right to make amends for that pathetic performance yesterday at the College World Series, losing to Notre Dame and proving that you're the #1 team in the country by coming back and making it to the finals. If not, then that nice, pretty season where you only lost 7 games will be a fluke.
All right. Red, who has the right to do what, when, where, and how?
Finally a chance I can be a little creative. Ben Affleck, you got a right to make this Nike movie an Oscar contender. Man, I am loving this cast you are putting out. I mean, Viola Davis, Chris Tucker, you are pulling out the stops, getting an all-star cast together for your Nike movie based on how Nike became this big phenomenon, and it started with Michael Jordan signing on the dotted line. That's where they're going with it. Oh, and Viola Davis is playing Michael Jordan's mother, just to let you guys know. So Ben Affleck, I got faith in you, especially when you are directing, and you are directing Nike movie, sports. You got Matt Damon with you, all-star cast. You even got Chris Tucker coming in on this. It's a couple of more big names I don't forgot now, but this is turning out to be an all-star big-time movie, and Ben Affleck, you got the right to turn into an Oscar contender. I can't wait for this one to drop on Netflix. Good luck, Ben.
Atlanta Braves, you have the right to continue on with these winning ways, continue to be the chump killers that you have been these past 2 weeks, and keep on inching up on that New York Mets so that you all don't have to worry about a wild card berth, but you can win the division outright. So Braves, you have the right to go undefeated once again this coming week, especially since you're playing a bunch of chump killers. That's all that we have today. Let's see what Reverend Knight Nation might said about who has the right to do something. J-Lo better be fit or he's sleeping on the couch. Braves, you have the right to keep the streak going. No doubt about it. Celtics, you have the right to shoot, not to shoot unnecessary threes in crunch time with no one under the basket. That's for sure. Steph definitely had one of those career games. Let's see. J-Lo better be in it or he's sleeping on the couch.
Oh, I didn't hear about her name.
Celtics, you have a right to get your act together and get this thing done. Does Nia have to give y'all a free game locker room
Oh.
speech?
Hello.
Adam Sandler, you have the right to come back to Coatesville and film another movie anytime you want to. I enjoy Hustle. It was filmed in Coatesville?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Coatesville, PA. Stand up, Coatesville. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
thought, you didn't know about that, Ron?
I had no idea. I knew about the movie, but now I'm gonna have to watch it on Netflix.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out. And
Wow.
the Rise movie about the Greek freak and his brothers. That'll be coming out on the Disney Channel soon, everybody. The movie Rise. That's the Greek freak biopic about, their rise from, Greek all the way up to NBA champion. So
Okay. Well, they doing that. Okay.
yeah, it's gonna be on Disney Plus, I think at the end of this month. I didn't know that's what it was about. I've been seeing the previews for the movie Rise. I had no idea that what it was about. How come Greek Freak story ain't got more publicity that they doing a movie on him?
Interesting. Coach, you see what you have a right to do?
Yeah, tell Jerome you got a right to get a better typewriter.
VP slamming down the gavel of the Red and Rev Sports Show. Have a good weekend, fam. All right, let's see. The president said my hot air balloon just arrived. Time for the bare naked porcupine. In Colorado, Sister Brickis. Yes, we at the high school. Okay, no doubt. No diggity, no doubt.
Is it something about Adam Sandler when he's fully bearded that he looks like Teddy from Snowfall?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
no. Not Teddy.
All right, man, that's dope. I'm gonna have to watch Hustle while I'm on my vacation. Listen, everybody.
You need to watch a lot of things, but definitely Hustle.
Don't forget your cup. That's silly. All right, man. Coach with the quip on Jerome spelling. All right, that's enough, y'all. That's a wrap. Episode 241 is in the books. We'll be back 242 next Saturday, 11 o'clock. Same Facebook page, YouTube channel, the Red and Red Sports Show. Be blessed, everybody. Be safe out there. Stay cool in these warm temperatures all across the country. We'll holler at you. Bye-bye.